Welcome to another episode of Discover St. Cloud, Florida. I'm Kristin Macari, and I'm here with your host,
Jeanine Corcoran, broker for Corcoran Connect, a real estate company.
And it is that time of, I guess, the year, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We have December, and then we also have the year-end market report.
I know. Crazy to see. I can't believe 2023 is already over. Like, I feel like we're still in it, and I know we say that every year, but I don't know. Like, I feel like the winds of change are coming in the real estate market. Like, I don't know. I feel like this year is going to be really busy.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And plus we had a quiet September through December. It was very quiet.
Right. That last
More
quarter.
so than normal.
Right.
You know, but interest rates have a lot to do with that.
Absolutely. But I feel like people are going to get I feel like right now people are going to be starting to get antsy and just be like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to,
Especially with the mortgage, the lenders are coming up very creative deals where you
Right.
can refinance with no fees, even if the interest rate comes down within a certain amount of years. And there's
Right.
just all kind of
good things.
good programs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't be afraid, buyers.
No, not at all.
And sellers, forget about that. I got the best interest rate ever. Is that the house you're really going to stay in for the rest of your life?
Right. Because I don't know. Because now I'm down to one child that's I don't know. I'm just like, man, I have a 6-bedroom house. What was I thinking?
What are you doing in the 6-bedroom
Yeah,
house?
exactly. So who knows? But anyway, so let's, I guess, start with 34769 for December, and then we'll give a recap of the year at the end, right?
Yes. So we have for 34769, which includes the historic downtown St. Cloud area, we only had 18 homes that sold. 13 of them were single stories, and they came in at $247.28 price per square foot. And then we had 5 two-stories at $173.99 price per square foot. The average price per square foot was $226.92.
That's crazy. So month over month, it's down a little bit, about 7%. But again, that's such a small sample, pool that it's kind of like when we do the 34773 that there just weren't really enough sales to say oh, this is a trend yet. But anyway, the average is technically down 7% from month over month, but you're still up year over year at almost 3.5%. It was 219.53 a year ago. Days to contract was about 15 days.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
and that's still pretty quick.
Yeah, they usually go quick.
Yeah.
Yes, the prices are lower too.
It's a much lower price range. And then days to close was 52. Currently, there's about 62 active homes on the market right now. And so with the 18 sold, that gives you a 3.4 month supply. So
okay, that's pretty good.
Nice, healthy market right there in downtown St. Cloud.
Then we go on to 34771, which is all the Narcousie corridor south of Lake Nona, and we had 78 properties that have sold, an average of $234.31 price per square foot. And then we have 47 single stories at $247.84 price per square foot, and the 2 stories came in at 31, and they were $213.13 price per square foot.
That's great. So your month over month averages are up about 3.6% from last month. Year over year, you're still up 10%, 10.3% year over year. So 34771 is definitely seeing some gains still. Median days to contract. And in case you're new to the podcast, we actually don't include the new construction in these results because it does sway the numbers. So the median days to contract for resales is 50 and the median days to close is 90. So almost 2 months to get under contract, total of 3 months to get it closed. For your resale homes. And with 228 active homes on the market, it's just under 3 months of a supply.
Wow.
So nice and healthy.
And then we go on to 34772. For all you folks that are out there in the manor, we had 56 homes that sold in the month of December at an average of $217.87 price per square foot. The single stories came in at there were 32 homes, and they came in at $226.17, and the 2 stories at 24 of them sold, and they came in at $206.80.
Wow, is that too small for you to read?
No, it's the end of the day, and for some reason, at the very end of the day, I can't see as well with my contacts on a computer.
Oh no, you only have one contact in this time, though, right?
I'm afraid. I had 2 people look in my eye at church to say, do I have a contact? I said to Bill, but I can't really read the words, so it must not be in them. So I'm afraid to put another one in after that episode.
Yes, exactly. For those of you that don't know, Jeanine had 2 contacts in her. She thought she had an eye infection. She actually just had 2 contacts in one eye, and they were not on her actual eyeball. They were in the side.
They were in there. The one contact was in there for over 8 days. I don't know how long the one before was in there.
Right. was disgusting. My little sister pulled it out with a Q-tip.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, go ahead. I'm sure it's on my Instagram or something.
Right.
It's disgusting.
Really anyway,
Disgusting.
So for 34772, your month-over-month averages are up 2.5% still, and then year-over-year, you're still up 1%. So nice, healthy out there. Again, 51 days to contract and 88 days to close. And with the active 181 active properties on the market, you're looking at a 3.25 month supply. So just over 3 months.
Okay. So everything seems to be falling in about the same.
I feel like it finally settled. Now we're into a new normal. This is how it is. All right. And so 34773.
Okay, so 34773, we have 14 homes that sold at 207.77 price per square foot. 6 of them came in at 6 single-story homes at 218.20, and then the 2 stories we had 8 at 198.83.
And so you're looking at a month over month, you're looking at a slight decrease of 1.4%. Again, such a small sample size that number is going to probably vary. Year over year, again, down 1.9%, but again, that's just small sample size. It's really so hard to say. Your median days to contract in 34773 though is 89 to get under contract. So it's almost 3 months to get a contract that sticks on your house, and then 120 days to close. So it's another 30 days, your typical closing.
So I wasn't far off with my 90 days.
No, you're literally, it's 89 days is the median for December.
Because for a while there, I was telling folks about 60 days, but then everything stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, about 90 days, and
right.
then, just to prepare.
Right. Just to keep that into consideration. So if you're wanting to be out at the end of the school year, you should be looking February to put the house on the market, or January, put it on now, and then hopefully you'll be out.
Unless
by
you're a
May.
really, really hot house, like a single story on a nice lot.
Or a single story that's 400,000 or whatever. That price point. It's a little harder if you're 450 and you have a big house, and that might stay a little bit longer. So
exactly.
And then with 60 active homes on the market, you're looking at just 4.25 months supply.
So that's a little bit higher than everyone
A little bit
else.
higher. Yeah, and that doesn't include whatever new construction. There's quite a bit of new construction that's probably not listed here, but so a little bit longer, a little bit slower in 34773. It's a sleepy zip code.
I think I've always been like that too,
It has.
in comparison to the rest of the zip codes.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, when 34771 finally fills up, because at some point they have to run out of land, then it'll come out to us.
It definitely flows down this way.
Yep.
So then we have vacant land, and we only had 6 properties that sold in December. So that got a little bit quiet. It looks like the largest parcel was 4.82 acres, and it's on Doe Drive. It listed for $250 and sold for $230.
Yep.
That's back December 20th, and all the land sales were cash except for one. One was conventional, but everything else is cash.
Interesting. It's nice and quiet and sleepy. No big parcels.
No
sold.
big parcels, no.
So that's good to know. Awesome. So then I guess we can recap with the 2023 year-end market report for, we'll start with 34769 again, just to kind of see where we ended up for the year. That's kind of crazy. I can't believe that 2023 is over already.
Okay, so we have 34769. There were 308 homes that sold. The average price per square foot was $232.89. Oh, so look at this. There were 268 single stories that sold at $239.80 and 42 stories that sold at $185.65.
I always find that interesting because you don't realize it until you look, but the majority of the homes in 34769 are single story.
Yeah.
Like the original houses. There's not very many 2-story houses out there. So that's crazy. But 308, that's a little less than 1 per day selling.
Wow.
So, well, that's good. All right. And then in 34771, we had, looks like a total of 1,053 homes.
Surprise! It's the busiest zip code, that's
really
for sure.
is. So the average price per square foot was $226.63. Your single stories there were 616 of those, and they were $244.79 a square foot. Your 2 stories there were 437 of those. So again, a little bit more 1 stories than 2 stories, and those came in at $201. and 2 cents for the price per square foot. So, but okay, so 1053. What is that? Three per day? Is that right?
It sounds
My math not mathing.
It sounds about right. If I could actually learn how to use my calculator on my computer, I would be able to do that.
You would think, right? Okay, I'm going to do it on my phone because it's a lot quicker. But and don't laugh because I do have Excel open right now.
Oh, okay.
It is close to 3 a day, just under 3 a day.
Wow.
So that's great. The
It's a hot zip
34771. Yes, it is. It sure is.
Then we have 34772, where a total of 654 homes were sold. Of that, 453 of them were single stories at 230.46 price per square foot. The 2 stories, there were 201 homes that sold at 186.65 price per square foot, making an average of 216.98 price per square foot.
Wow. And 654, so that's like 1.5, just 1 and 3/4 houses a day. So busy zip code. So then what do you think? I haven't looked yet. I didn't bother to look, or you're already looking. What do you think 34773 came in at?
Oh, how many homes?
Yeah, how many homes
I
total?
didn't look at the report yet.
I didn't pay attention to that part, so I'm curious to see. I have no idea. But I feel like it's going to be slower.
It's going to be under 400, I'm going to guess.
I want to say it's going to be, do you think it's going to be more or less than 34769? 34769 had 305.
It's going to be more.
You're going to have more homes than that.
I think so.
Yeah?
Only because of the new build. And we do include the new build on the year-end report. But
okay. I feel like I want to go for like 275.
Really? Okay.
I don't know why. Only because 34769 had 305. So I feel like 34773 always has less. So I guess we'll see. All right. So here, drum roll, please.
I can't even find it. Where is it?
We're gonna have to zoom in when she finds the 34773 year end.
I can't find it. I said 3 year end 697172. Oh, maybe I have a lot of things open.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read yours.
Can you read it from there?
No. Oh.
She was so wrong. 162 homes sold in 34773. I wonder how many of those were yours. I wonder how many were yours you were involved in.
It felt like so much more.
It really did.
Oh, well. You have to read that one because I can find it.
Okay. So for the single family homes, there were 91 single stories. Those came in at $218.38 a square foot, and there were 71 2 stories at $184.56. Brings your grand total average out to $203.56 a square foot for your 162 homes, which is about a home every other day.
That's still not terrible.
No,
though.
it's really not.
It's not like a big area.
No, there's not a lot of houses here.
Not a lot of houses.
But that's funny.
Oh my
gosh. That was even less than I thought. I was like, oh no, things have been selling in here.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it was much higher.
Yeah, me too.
But then when you think of September through December, not a lot was selling. So then that's how many months.
Right.
know?
And I also feel like every time we do this report, it's like there were 10 sold in Harmony.
Yeah, that's true.
I probably should have
That's
guessed
true.
like 120, but
That's true.
that it is what it is. So, well, that's interesting. All right. So now, like, what do you think is going to happen in 2024 in the real estate market?
Okay. Well, I mean, we could all guess,
Right.
but I think interest rates will definitely, they'll keep dropping them. I don't, and definitely because of the election that usually happens. How far down will they go? I don't think we'll ever see 4s again. I think if it went to 6, and we were at that norm for a long time, that would be a good rate to be at. It's healthy. We were there for a long time. What's your thought?
I don't know. I feel like, and I've been pricing out some buyers that are trying to get back into the market and stuff like that. And I think, monthly affordability wise, they need something lower. They need something like 5 or under to get them to a comfortable spot at today's current prices. But I still feel, this is so hokey, but like I just have a good feeling about this year. Like I don't think we're going to see like massive drops in prices or, anything crazy. Like I just think that people will get tired and decide to move on, kind of like in the 80s, right? Like if you had to move, you had to move.
Right.
And so I think we'll see a little bit more of that, where people's patience will wear off and they'll just say, you know what, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and do it and then figure it out down the road. Like hope that the rates come down. But I do think they'll come down a little bit with it being an election year. And I just think that, overall, like market conditions, it kind of seems like we settled in that low 7 range. And I think they're going to start to probably bring it down a little. I would hope. That'd be nice.
But what about all the sellers that are, have their dream interest rate?
Right, but if you, I have a pretty good, I remember if you go back in time, I was complaining about my interest rate because
what's yours?
We're at a 4.675, I think.
Okay.
But 4.6, 4.7, something like that. And I remember at the time, it was right when rates went from 1 week we were in the 3s and the next we were almost at 5. It just,
I remember that.
It was fast. And I remember thinking at the time, this is terrible. And now I'm like, oh, my rate's not so bad. My rate's not so bad. So, I don't know. I think that if for us, if it came up, we're actually in the season that we would probably end up downsizing because my kids are grown, and then we would just we would move, we'd find something that works within our budget. And I think that some people are starting to get over the buying your dream house, right? I think we're getting more realistic again that why don't I buy the house I can afford, fix it up, make it my own for now. And then, when the market changes in my favor, then, then I can move on. But
the funny, not the funniest, cause I understand it completely, but the main objection that I get from a lot of sellers is, well, I'm not going to move because I have a great interest rate. And that it makes sense to me, but then doesn't make sense to me. I'm just so this is a house you want to live in for the rest of your life because you have a good interest rate?
Right.
I mean, I got my dream interest rate, so I'm staying here. No, what about your dream house or where you want to go to or, what you want to do in life? I know people have to move and then they do. It doesn't matter. But there's still so many that just say, I'm holding on to that interest rate.
Right. Well, and I guess for me, if I didn't have a reason to change, you know what I mean? If I was just changing just because, I've been in this house for 4 years, I'm going to change. That's different. I might hold on for a good interest rate versus.
Yeah, but these are people that want to move.
Right.
But they won't because of the interest rate. And I'm just baffled by that. Because would you stay in this big house because you had a lower interest rate if it was time for you to go?
I don't think so. I mean, Q, what do you think? Would you stay? No? You would just go. We would figure it out. Right. We're also self-employed, so our we had this conversation this morning where our whole thing is we'll just make more money. So
right. That's your solution. That's
my solution. I realize that's not the case for everybody else. I'm just well, cool. I'll just work harder. I'll sell more houses. I'll, land more clients for video. I get it. That we have that luxury to say that, but that's always my mentality. I'll earn the amount that I need to make up the difference. But I don't know. I think I would sell if I had to. I mean, now granted, if I had a 4.77 interest rate and the interest rates were 18%, no, I'd probably stay in this house until I died. But, we're talking, for me, a little difference. Not this huge difference, Yeah. So I don't know. I think that I think to that though, it goes back to my point where I was saying that I think people are just going to get tired of waiting. You know what I mean? If they've been on the fence for a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, they have to think about it and let it settle.
And now they're
and even buyers too, because when the interest rate went down for a little bit, all of a sudden buyers came out.
Right.
And they didn't go down that much. You know what I mean? But just enough to get a couple off the fence.
Right.
Right. But I'm telling you folks, the people that are waiting to buy, there are a lot of great programs out there. Colleen Mitchell being one of them that has the one that they'll refinance during a certain amount of period, no matter what the interest rate goes down to, and they won't charge you for that refinancing.
Right.
So, which is great.
And that's what I don't understand is taking advantage of that. Not only that, but with the homes on the market, the days that they're sitting on the market, I think sellers are getting more likely to offer concessions that you can use to buy down the rate. And then you are close to where I am. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, D.R. Horton next door at Harmony West was doing a 4.99% on some of their inventory homes that were ready. That's basically what I'm at. Yeah. It's still available. I know that you hear that it's 7% or whatever, and then I get it. It makes a huge difference in your mortgage payment, but I mean, there are ways around that, and I think we're close enough in reach that it's doable for more people if you just. So if you've got the itch, if you've been waiting to time the market or see what it's going to do, well, we already know because we settled all of last year. I feel like the waves were going like this, and it was crazy, and then we settled, and so here we are. This is the market that we have. Yep. And I think that if you're
and sellers that are out there, usually it's around somewhere between $9,000 and $11,000 to buy down a buyer's interest rate. So that's something,
right?
Rather than lower your price, maybe promote and do that instead.
It would make a huge difference, you know? So anyway, lots of things to think about, but I'm excited for 2024 because I felt very unsettled still about 2023 when we were going into the beginning of the year. I was like, I don't know, like prices, something's got to give. And I think right now, I think we've just kind of settled into like, well, this is what it is now.
Yeah, the new norm.
Yeah. So I think people are getting used to it. So anyway, I'm excited for 2024.
Good. And she's a pessimist.
No, I am a realist. I like to take
Not a realist. She's a glass half full.
Yes,
half empty.
No,
I'm half full. She's half empty.
Anyway, well, that is your market report for December and the year end for 2023 in the St. Cloud, Florida area. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode. Remember, you can find us on all of your favorite podcast platforms. You can also check us out on YouTube,
Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, all the places. LinkedIn.
If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can give us a call at
407-953-9118. That's the landline, or 1-844 St. Cloud, STCLOUD.
That's awesome. And you can also send us an email at discoverstcloud@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.